Greetings, my fellow eagles and the entire world. This is Eagle Emmanuel Mensah with inspirations and guidance from Eagle Helen Mensah in the unseen or non physical world, coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. Today is the 15th of May in the year 2024, and it is a beautiful day. So let us rejoice and be glad in this day. Today, I am going to speak to you on the topic be attentive to your feelings or be attentive to your internal guidance. The human being could be taken, or our life could be likened to that of a pilot or a driver. If you're a driver and you are on the road, as a good driver, you're supposed to pay attention to the sound of the car and even the sounds that surrounds you. You have to listen to the noises that maybe will be coming from the brakes or from some other part of the vehicle. All these are messages to you as to whether your vehicle is running in good condition or not. If you are not attentive to this and you keep on just moving, going about, driving the car around, you will one day find yourself in difficulties. Either the car will break down and stop working, or you'll find yourself in an accident. And so, a good driver, every good driver, or the operator of every machine, does not only pay attention to what he or she is doing on the machine, but the person also pays attention to the sound of the machine. How is it sounding? Is it normal or not normal? And so it is with every human being. We are moving on this earth, and every day we drag ourselves along. But do we listen to ourselves or we listen to other people? Now, if you ask or if you come across, or you may come across a lot of people, and whenever they have issues and you ask them how they feel about it, they have no clue. Can't even explain to you how they feel about the situation. But what they will tell you is that I need to see this special person. I need to see my spiritual leader. I need to see my doctor. I need to see this. Yes, all these things are good. But the fact is, every human being is a unique being. And therefore, whatever thing that you may be going through, you need to listen to yourself. There is a way that your body or your whole system communicates to you. And your body is just a channel through which your own self, your true self, speaks to you. And it is only when you do not pay attention to that, then it will get to a time that the body begins to crumple or fall apart. And so, as human beings walking on this earth, there is a continuous communication to us from the unseen world or from your soul or the energy, the spirit that individualizes itself into you. And so you are supposed to pay attention to what you feel, but not what other people are saying. And as I've already mentioned, there are a lot of people that they are not living their own lives, but they are living lives that has been prescribed by other people, either the spiritual leader or the medical doctor or whatever. But the fact is, whilst they do all these things, deep within themselves, they have a feeling about whatever they are doing. Some people even confess that I don't feel good, or I do not feel, this doesn't sound right to me that I should do this. But because the specialist says I should go ahead, I am going to do it. Then the person goes ahead and do it, and then find him or herself in a difficulty because the person is not listening to his own system. And so you are supposed to pay attention to however you are feeling about anything. And it is just the same as what I explained in my previous podcast. You are a human being and you live in two worlds. It is very essential that you understand this very simple situation or it's very simple truth about a human being. You live in two worlds. You have your physical world, and then you have your non physical world. You existed in your non physical world before you came into the physical world. So it was a journey that we made into the physical world. And so, whilst we're here, you still maintain communication, direct links with your non physical aspect that focus a fraction of itself into your body. And so all the time you get this communication. And one way that we know as to whether we are actually in tune or we are online on the same wavelength with our inner being or our souls is how we feel. And so when you feel negatively about any situation, be it about your body, your job, your wife, or whatever, when you feel negatively about that particular or any situation or that particular situation, that it means you are thinking or your line of thinking is not in alignment with the line of thinking of your soul or that spirit that made itself or extended itself into you or to become the physical body that you have here. And so the negative emotions you feel about everything is a form of communication. And if I could actually make this a daily statement or a daily message that you will hear over and over and over till it sinks into your own being, I would do it because everything that we are going through, everything that we are experiencing on earth here, be it individually or collectively, is because we are not paying attention to the messages from the unseen world or our inner beings. When you are in tune with your inner being, when you are in tune with God, you feel good about everything. The reason is that God has no concept of negativity. And therefore, in the world of God, there is only positive, there is only positivity, there is only good. And therefore, before you will feel this goodness that is in God, you must also entertain thoughts that are good. And so, if you are with, let's say, your wife, and your wife is doing something, and you look at it and you develop a love for that thing that your wife is doing, you feel that you say that you feel good, and the two of you become one about it. There is happiness. But the moment you separate or you begin to entertain different thoughts or negative thoughts, even instead of you praising the person, you are castigating the person in your mind. Instead of you praising the person, you are condemning the person in either inwardly or outwardly. Then it means you are going against the thinking, or you are thinking against the thinking of God or your inner being. And therefore, what you feel is negative emotion like anger, worries, fear, and all these kind of things. And so, this is how the universe communicates to us. And at the same time, the moment you begin to do or look at what the person is doing, you say, oh, my wife is doing this, even though I do not agree with her, but I think I must respect her individuality and her right to do whatever she wants to do. And therefore, I am going to love her and love what she's doing. You will see that there will be peace within you, and that peace will join the peace of your wife, and there will be peace, absolute peace in the home. It is the same thing with your own self, especially. You are not supposed to live a life that has been prescribed by other people, and especially when it comes to our religious beliefs and our religious followings. You know that you do not feel good. Whatever you are doing, You are doing it because it is the leader of the religion or whatever, they are saying it, and therefore you follow. But once you do it, you feel within yourself that it is very bad, you are feeling bad. Then that is when you have to call yourself to order and begin to think as a true human being. Ask yourself, what do I want in this world? And the only thing you want in this world is to be happy. Even if it is your religion, you are following the religion to be happy. Unless, of course, those of us that we are thinking that it is only through our sufferings on earth here that we will enter the kingdom of God or in heaven, as we are told. But if you are not happy on earth here, there is no way that you can be happy in heaven, because you are supposed to develop your what we call track record even in our normal human being settings. If you are looking for people to employ, you look for their track record. If you are looking for people for any kind of position, any kind of duties, we look for their track record. So there is no way that someone with a bad track record or will be given a job that is very sensitive, that is important to the world or to any group of people. And it is the same thing. Whatever thing we are doing here, we are doing it to gain the attention of God, to enter the so-called heaven that we have been promised. And therefore, if that heaven really exists and you are walking on this earth full of fear, worry, anxiety, unhappy, full of all kinds of negative emotions, and you think that these are your afflictions that you are going through to enter heaven, then you are deceiving yourself. The only thing that you can take you into heaven is to be holy. Or the Bible says, "Be ye holy, for I am holy." And therefore, whatever you are doing, you will never be holy without listening to how you are feeling. It is not about what with the things that we touch or whatever, the food that you eat or how you dress that makes you holy. But it is about what goes through you, how you are feeling, your thoughts. Your thoughts about everything generates this negative emotion. And when this negative emotion comes, it means you are not in alignment, you are not in sync with God. And if you're not in sync with God, that means you are lost. It's like a high commissioner or an ambassador that has been taken to a different country by his own government. If you go there and you cut links with your home government, that means you no longer have the protection. And therefore, see yourself as an ambassador. See yourself as a high commissioner of God on earth here. And the only way you can receive guidance, you can receive support, and continue to enjoy your role on earth here is to maintain direct contact, open communications with God, with your soul, your inner being. And as soon as you create this relationship, you feel good, you feel happy. Everything that is in God flows into your life. And that is when you know very well that, yes, even the heaven that they are talking about, I can feel within me that I am going to heaven, because you are always in line with God. But if you are on earth here and you are feeling bad, you are feeling in all the negative things, and that means you have no links with God. Therefore, you are already cut off from heaven, if it exists. You see, so at the end of the day, the only reasons why we are here is to be happy. Every human being is to remain happy. And just as we have with the plants, the animals, they prosper. We get them to be what we want, and for us to be rich out there from them only when they are in good condition. Your plants will give you bumper harvest only when you provide the right atmosphere, the right condition for them, with God, the universe cooperating to bring rains upon them. It is the same thing with your life. So pay attention to how you feel. The only decision, every decision that you make must be based on how you feel, but not on how someone is telling you, what someone is telling you. Your leader, be it your spiritual leader, your political leader, your professional leader, they have their own feelings. So they are speaking to you based on how they feel. And in most cases, whatever they tell you is to make themselves happy. As soon as you do what they are telling you, they become happy and you are feeling sad. That means you are sacrificing yourself for someone's happiness. But your happiness is your own happiness and you have to work towards it. And so you are like a driver, as I started. Pay attention to how you feel. And whatever situation that comes before you, it will be better for you to pay attention to how you feel and change your thought process about it rather than going even to speak to anyone. Because if you go and speak to anyone, they will tell you only based on how they feel about your situation. And that is not going to work for you. So pay attention to how you feel. The feelings that we have, especially the negative ones, they are the communications, information from the unseen world to us. And it is through our body that we feel is that we are cutting ourselves from what we're supposed to be and gaining from them. The support, the energy, everything that is supposed to flow through God into our lives, we are cutting ourselves from them based on the thought that we generate or we indulge in about every situation in our lives. And so there is no justification. There is nothing to talk about when it comes to the decisions we are supposed to make about our lives. You are an individual person and you have the right. That is why you are given a mind. So make the right choice. Always think for yourself. Dare to think for yourself. Dare to be yourself. And that is listening to what is going through you, how you are feeling about any given situation. And if the feeling is not good, that means you are not in alignment with your higher self. And the only credible thing, the only wise thing to do is to change the thought process. Look for something different, if possible, to dwell yourself on that. And as you do that, you bring yourself in alignment with your higher self, and the other situation fades away. That is how it's supposed to be. So pay attention to your internal guidance. Pay attention to how you feel, just as you pay attention to the sounds and the noises around you when you are driving your car on the road. That is my message for you. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So now I say, may the overshadowing presence of God that keeps the stars in the open from falling on us and keeps the planets in their orbit such that they do not clash with one another, lead you, keep you, and guide you, causes you to be awakened to the truth, and always be attentive to your internal guidance, the system that God has deliberately placed in you. And as soon as you walk and make decision, you live your life, make decision based on how you feel about everything, and you bring yourself into only the feeling good area, you will live a prosperous life, a life that demonstrates the beauty and the glory of God. And that is why we say, yes, you are moving and thriving in this world as a true child of God. Thank you, and God bless you.